Welcome to the 2026 Mega Preview Show. My name is Emma O'Driscoll and I will be hosting you for this show with Hayden Young and Sean Darcy. Now, boys, you're well into pre-season now, having ticked over the new year. How's it been?
Really good, really good. It's been a hot start. Everyone's come back in great condition. We've got a new high performance manager, so sort of the way we've been training, our gym culture has sort of changed a little bit, which has been refreshing, but one thing that hasn't changed has sort of been the hard work and sort of the foundation that we've built over the last few years. So yeah, everyone's in really good nick and it's been a great first block.
Absolutely. And just speaking on high performance, you both have visited Qatar, not Qatar, for a trip there. Tell us about that and what that entailed.
Yeah, it was a pretty heavy week of training. I went over at the start of last year, and visited before last season, and I found I got a lot out of it. So Youngie decided to come along this time, and essentially it just details your whole body first day there to see what our strengths and weaknesses are. A lot of testing, and then from that they develop a plan on what we want to target, what your body's weak at, and then the next 4 or 5 days is pretty intense training, one-on-one with Ender King, who's a specialist over there. So yeah, they were long days, but yeah, we got a lot out of it.
Yeah, I think the feeling was obviously we've had a bit of injury history, so hopefully just do a deep dive into how we can support our bodies a bit better. And I think the main feeling I got from it is a lot of optimism about season 2026 and making sure my body's in a really good spot. And I'm sure Sean feels the same, is that we've just got a lot of tools now to prepare ourselves to stay healthy and hopefully play some good footy.
Absolutely, and certainly a lot more confidence probably heading into this pre-season block. And so just touching on pre-season, how's it been so far? It's a 30-degree day today. Has that what it's been like most of the time? And how has the training been looking?
Yeah, no, it has been very hot. Our first day back for our time trial was about 38, which was pretty testing. But yeah, it's been pretty solid. Like sessions have been big. We've been hitting around 13 to 15 Ks on our big days, which is great. But yeah, I think we might have to starting a little bit earlier because yeah, on those really hot days you get stuck out there in the middle of the day when it's sort of like peak heat. So we might have to adjust our program a little bit just to get in early and beat the heat. But no, the sessions have been really solid. We've been able to sort of hit the ground running with our footy and getting our game plan rolled out so that, come post Chrissy, we're ready to rock and roll and get into match sim and sort of our practice games, which come around pretty quickly.
Unreal. And just speaking on the time trial, 30-15s, my type of running, because I'm done with these 3x1Ks. Who performed really well in that, but also, more importantly, who's come back in really good nick and who are you surprised by?
Corey Wagner won it, which was exciting, and he's had a pretty tough pre-season with a surgery on a pec, so for him to come back and win it was very exciting. And yeah, exciting pre-season. I think Vossi's looking very strong in the gym anyway. He's pushing out some really, really big numbers, which is pretty impressive. So everyone's trying to catch him at the moment. So pretty exciting seeing him.
Yeah, and I think someone who's impressed me is actually Jago O'Meara, who's one of the oldest on our list now. And yeah, he's come back in really good condition. He's dropped a few kilos because I think he wants to improve his running game and if he's sort of flipping between mid and wing. So he's looking, he always looks ripped, but he's just looking.
It's like he's a Ken doll.
I know, he literally is perfect, but he even got more perfect. So I don't know how he did that, but it is nice to see that our most experienced player is still improving and getting better every year, and he's a great role model to our younger players.
That is sensational. I'll be keeping an eye out for both of those two. But before we look forward, let's go back to some big 2025 moments of the year. I'm going to name some things, guys, and I want your immediate reaction and thoughts on the following. Sean, I'll start with something about Youngie, so you must react. So Youngie winning the Glendinning Allen Medal for best on in the Derby, even though he was subbed off at 3/4 time.
Yeah, he wasn't happy getting subbed off. They threw him the vest and he wasn't too happy, but I think he having 3 goals and 20-odd disposals in the first 3 quarters did enough for him. So it was exciting, and it was just a testament to the amount of work he did in rehab, coming back and doing that. So well done.
And Youngie, just speaking on that, were you filthy about coming off?
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Because you're in form.
Yeah, no. I was feeling really good. And those days when you feel like the ball's bouncing your way, you just want to capitalise because, there's obviously a lot of days where it doesn't feel that way. So, but I did know going into it that they were going to manage me a little bit. So it wasn't a huge shock. But particularly when you're beating the Eagles, you just want to foot on the throat and keep going. So I couldn't be a part of it. But no, we got the job done, so I was pretty happy.
Absolutely. And then speaking on body on the line type stuff, Andy Brayshaw with the blood spill against the Hawks when we won. How insane was that interview after the game as well, when his head was literally pouring with blood?
Yeah, I feel like it's funny because that game, I was actually a few days post-surgery on my hamstring. So I actually was at home, because all the players, would watch from the grandstand, so wouldn't necessarily watch the interview. But I was live at home watching the interview going, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
They there?
And it just kept pouring down and I was just like, yeah. But, it's what you've come to expect with Andy. He's sort of head in the hole type player and does what's required week in, week out. And that interview was pretty crazy and I couldn't believe that I was watching it live by myself on the couch just going, what is happening?
Wild. And my personal favourite, because we love when defenders kick goals, but Alex Pearce after the siren in Adelaide, he's pushed forward, taken the biggest mark I've ever seen and then gone back and won the game. How incredible from the skipper.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I got front row seats because he was right in front of me as he jumped up and took the mark. So, and he missed a lot of time too with being out. I think that was his first game back in about 4 weeks or 5 weeks with his shin. So it's good having the skip up there, and hopefully we're not in that situation too many times where he has to come down and kick a goal. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a critical point of the year as well where we needed to win, and there's no better person to stand up than your skipper and kick a goal in a big moment. And also I think Vossi had just silenced the crowd, so we definitely needed to win that game. So it was a great moment.
Thank goodness. We've actually got a new set play in the W for that. It's actually me going forward. No, I'm kidding.
Would love to see it.
It was meant to happen, but I was like, I can't kick, so it would be terrible, but that's fine.
To be fair, Moose, not the greatest kick, but he still got the job done.
Exactly.
You just got to back yourself in.
Okay, perfect. We will. And speaking of Paddy Voss, obviously, he's a crowd favourite, and he did kick 6 huge goals with the 1-point win against Collingwood. Did you both play that game? And how was that? Was the crowd silence then as well?
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. That day I was actually the sub, so I was sitting on the bench for the majority of the day. But we knew he went in with a plan that he was going to go to Darcy Moore, and I think we were all just like shocked by how well he started on Darcy Moore, who's such a great defender. And what was so pleasing is it felt like he just kept a level head. We obviously know what he can do when he gets up and about and he goes off on his runs, but he just obviously knew he had a really important role that day and he was able to hit the scoreboard, but his application to role the whole day was outstanding, which is a great growth for him because he's obviously, still developing as a player, but to see him, step up on the big stage and just stay really level-headed and execute his role was really impressive. And then, 6 goals and I think he got 3 Brownlow votes as well, so it's a great day.
I think his struck got a little bit bigger each goal. So
I was about to say he'd be able to tell you the amount of Brownlow votes he got as well. So there you go. And then speaking of forwards, we're going to go to Murphy Reid because his debut was one of the best I've ever seen. He kicked 4 goals in the space of 5 minutes. What do we reckon about that?
Yeah, it was insanity. Insanity. He just keeps surprising us though, to be fair. Like on that day it was like, what's happening? But then what we've seen throughout the year and even this pre-season is it's just like he continues to surprise you. He keeps getting better. He does things that no one else can do, which is pretty impressive. And that day I remember I was in the box with the coaches and it wasn't the greatest place to be up until the point where he just kept kicking goals and we were like, hang on a minute, we could be back in this. And then anyway, it went downhill after that. But that was a highlight of the season for sure.
Yeah, it was exciting. And he's such a calm kid for being 19. I think he's got it all worked out at the moment. He's come back in great nick again and he just surprises. He does some things on footy ground that I can't even think about doing, let alone doing. So, he's one to watch.
No wonder he's a rising star and maybe one day will be a Fremantle legend. as are the two names I'm about to mention, Fifey and Sonny. They both retired this year, had their farewell games. It was a really emotional year and time for the club. How did you guys feel?
Yeah, it's been weird this pre-season without both of them. Since I've been drafted, they've two been here the whole time and been a constant voice for me as well. So it's quite weird. I don't know, what to feel without Fifey sitting next to me in the meeting room, and it was quite emotional. They've done so much for this football club. They've had unbelievable careers, so we wanted to send them out in a bit better fashion than the way we did. So that was a bit disappointing. But it's quite weird without them in the four walls.
Yeah, it is strange. But one thing that is pleasing is it feels like although they're not here, their legacy lives on, and we all remember what they did for the club, and I suppose the standards that they set, and we all know how well Fifey prepared, and Sonny as well. But I feel like those sort of behaviours and the characters they were, that legacy lives on, and now in our new leaders that are coming through, it's our job to carry on that legacy, and for our players like Murphy Reid coming through to understand what's come before, and what we want to be as a football club, and those two players were sort of key pillars of our football club for a long time, and it's our job to take the reins now and continue that legacy. So it is strange not having them here, but I don't think no one will ever forget what they did for our footy club, and certainly the place is a different place now than what it was before they got here.
Love that. And just before we move forward, we are going to touch on you guys for a little bit. So, Youngie, we'll start with you. We never want to see you sidelined, might I just say, because you only were able to play 9 games last season. How was that process and working through that? Obviously, we mentioned the Qatar trip at the start, but how did you work your way through that from mentally, but also physically, get you back where you are now for 2026?
Yeah, it was really challenging, but through all that adversity, I feel like I'm really proud of what I was able to achieve last year. And although I would have loved to have played more games, it felt like when I was given the opportunity to get back and was fit and healthy, I was able to contribute in a positive way, and it felt like my performances didn't sort of dip too much. So it gives me a lot of belief that despite anything I go through in my career, whether it's like a bit of poor form or injuries or whatever it may be, that despite all that, I can still come back and deliver on the big stage, and I don't need like a few weeks to sort of get my confidence back. So that's really pleasing. But going through those sort of periods, there's times where it feels like there's a little bit out of your control. Like you do all the preparation and try to do everything right to get your body prepared, and some things just don't go to plan. And like I broke my leg at the end of 2024, and that was pretty unpreventable. It was just a contact injury. So there's times where you just need to sit back and just accept it and move on, and you can't dwell on it too much. And you just got to move on to what can I do to prepare myself to play. And a lot of that for me was, although my body might not have been in the best physical condition, how can I prepare my mind to get out there and execute my role? And that's what I was really pleased with, that although I might have not been running the best I have been, or might have not been sprinting as well as I could have been, felt like my mind was in the game, and I was ready to perform when I was out there. So although it was disappointing only playing 9 games, I feel like I learned a lot from the season, and hopefully I can carry that on to next year with hopefully 20 plus games.
Well, great advice, and onwards and upwards, of course. But we are just going to touch on, obviously, you not playing provided opportunities for other players in the team. Now, we did touch on Wags before, so let's just go over Corey Wagner's season. He was able to play more inside, but also given specific roles as well. And I just found each time he executed. Yeah,
no, he was super reliable. And I think me leaving that side, it was a bit of a challenge for the midfield, but him stepping in was a massive, positive result from the season. He was able to go in, play his role, be really reliable. It was a day where he kept Nick Dacos, one of the best players in the comp, to 17 touches. And and I feel like he did that every week. Whatever he was asked to do, he went out there and did it to the best of his ability. And they're the players that you want to play with and want to run out alongside, is people that you can have a lot of trust in. And he was one of them. And there was many more. Like Luke Jackson went through the midfield, was amazing, and that's only going to continue to get better. Neil Erasmus, Matt Johnson, another two that elevated their game. It's great coming into this pre-season. We're all fit and healthy, and now we can really push each other. to keep getting better and keep building that trust.
Definitely. And you just touched on the versatility and how important it is. You obviously mentioned Matty Johnson, Neil Erasmus being able to play a bit more inside, but how about the most reliable players in Andy and Caleb also being able to flip forward? What does that do for this group?
Yeah, no, it's massive. I think as well with the combination of Shea Bolton, who can run through the midfield, and with Andy and Caleb, who get tagged every now and then, having that ability to flip forward and just throw something different at the opposition. It's great for our flexibility, and it can get them off the chain. It can get Bolts into the game if he comes up into the midfield. And it's just good to have more levers that we can pull to challenge opposition.
What about you, Youngie? You reckon you'll go forward a bit?
Yeah, I love going forward.
Beauty. Watch this space then. Now on to you, Swag. I've never called you Swag in my life. Sean, it's your 4th pre-season now, and you have been working with Luke Jackson for a while. Tell us about your relationship with Dogger.
Yeah, it's a great relationship. He's a close mate of mine. He makes footy very fun. He brings the fun side out of football. He makes you laugh. So, but under that, he's very competitive. He works extremely hard out on the track, and his versatility is he's one of the best in the leagues. He can play forward, he can play mid, he can play ruck, he showed that last year, which was really exciting. And another pre-season of him honing his midfield craft, which is what he's been doing, is really exciting as well.
I guess that's why they call him the unicorn then. And in recent months, we're going to touch on Mason Cox joining the club from Collingwood. How's it been working with him, or have you been able to work alongside each other much yet, or what's the general vibe?
He's great. He's been a really good acquisition by the club. He's been around for ages, so he's got a lot of knowledge on the game, and he's got a grand final and he's won a premiership, so his knowledge is valuable. It's really exciting, he's come and worked really hard and training with the boys, so it's exciting.
And what was the biggest surprise going from playing against him as opposition to now working with him as a teammate? Is there anything that shocked you for both of you?
He's a great bloke.
Yeah, he's actually a good bloke.
I feel like I just hate everyone from Collingwood, so maybe that's why.
Oh, he was very talkative too out on the ground, which is something that I'm not particularly, but he would chat the whole game, like genuinely like chat. And it was very hard to go against, but he's a great bloke. He's not like that at all, around the...
Yeah, I'm keen to run out with him if that's how he's going to be for us, because it'd be nice pairing him with a few of our other players in the forward line in particular.
More chirp or positive chat?
Chirp.
Yeah,
chirp.
Love! So that's why you want to be on his team.
Yeah.
We are moving on to the most exciting part of this show, and it is the 2026 AFL fixture. Now, boys, in the first 15 rounds, we will play 6 Saturday games, 4 Friday nights, 2 Thursday nights, and 2 Sundays. How do we feel about primetime footy on the weekend?
Super excited. I think it's the direction we want to go as a football club, playing in big games. Last year we got a little taste of it, and those are the games that I really enjoy playing, and I know our fans will really enjoy it as well. When they're home games, it gets we get 50,000 people there, and it's an amazing atmosphere, and we always feel like we play better in front of a big crowd, particularly our home fans. So we can't wait for that opportunity, and hopefully we can get some wins. What's
your favourite day of the week to play?
I like Friday night. Friday night's my favourite.
I personally like Friday as a spectator as well. I love just putting the footy on at home, or whether I'm going. Just Friday gets it done, then you have your weekend as well.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Love. And then you touched on our home games, Youngie, so I'm just going to rattle off a few of them that are our kind of milestone games this year, and we want your reaction to how much you love playing these games. So to start with, we'll go with that annual Len Hall tribute game. Will be the marquee night fixture on Anzac Day, Saturday the 25th of April at 6:15 against Carlton. That's elite.
Wow, yeah. Anzac Day, that's huge.
That's on Anzac Day.
Anzac Day, yeah.
That's massive. That'll be it's always a great fixture, that one. We link arms at the start of the game, and it's always really
we're in between
touching
veterans too, so it's always great chatting to them. We usually get one come to the club and talk about their experience and things like that. So yeah, it's a special game, and it means a lot to a lot of people.
Yes, and our events team do a very good job at setting that up, as they do for the Sir Doug Nicholls round. It's always incredibly special, and we'll play St Kilda in a Friday night blockbuster, round 11. Are we excited to see next year's Indigenous jumper?
Yeah, really excited. I mean, I feel like our club does a really good job at celebrating Indigenous culture. We've obviously got a really rich history, and our Indigenous jumpers, in my opinion, are the best in the comp. So it's always really exciting to see what they come up with. And home game's going to be massive in front of a big crowd, and it's going to be a big night.
It's pretty cool listening to the stories and how they all fit it into the jumpers and how it all looks. So that's my favourite part of the week.
It's always amazing. The Indigenous art is incredible. And then speaking of art as well, our retro round is back. I bloody love the retro jumper. And this year we get to play round 21 clash against the Bulldogs. What do we love the most about it?
Well, the jumper is always
Of course.
the main one. And,
Are we going back to the big anchor?
Well, I feel like we're getting close to, we've been through, that's the other thing, I feel like our club has some of the best retro jumpers out of anyone in the league, and we've been through quite a lot of them, so now it's a bit of a lottery. You don't know what you're going to get, so I'm excited to see. I wouldn't mind, I've seen in the past we've played in like the East Freo, South Freo Guernseys. That would be pretty cool to bring that back, but who knows.
It's cool. You love seeing, especially some of the coaches
So cool.
rocking the kits, things like that. So yeah, it's a pretty cool week to see all the past players come in and share their stories as well. So it's one that we're definitely excited about.
And I love that we just keep retro round going all year with like vision of the past, like coaches and past players playing, and how that links into a set play that occurred on the weekend. I think that's wicked. So keep doing that, media team.
Yeah, I feel like JL always somehow finds a way to get his mark and goal in there just every retro round.
There's never any clangers of JL.
Nah, it's always JL's goal celebration, which is hilarious.
Oh, and last but not least, we have our final home game in round 23. It is the member thank you round against Adelaide. How are we feeling about that? At home as well.
Yeah, that's huge. Going off last season, Adelaide will probably be up there, I'd imagine. So heading into finals for both teams, it'll be a big game. And hopefully it's a good way to finish the year, and our fans can get excited, and hopefully we're heading into finals with a win.
Always a chance to thank the supporters too for them coming out for the whole year. We can't play footy without them, and we play extra special when you guys are sell out the Optus Stadium. So we get up for that one.
And aren't we just grateful to have Freo stay in WA? From rounds 11 to 16, we only leave WA once, with an away trip to the Gabba in round 12 to take on Brisbane. That's incredible. I don't think ever happened before.
No, it's pretty important for us, because we obviously do fly a lot, and it does make a big difference. I think we got a game down in Bunbury, I believe, which is exciting, against North Melbourne. So staying in Perth's a massive advantage for us. And I think last year when we had a bit of a stretch in Perth, we went on a bit of a winning streak. So it sort of kick-started our season. So hopefully we can continue that momentum.
Absolutely. And to all our supporters, we have 12 home games at Optus Stadium in 2026. So get there. And now we're on to some player updates. So we spoke about Mason Cox before. Let's talk about the other new faces here at Freo. We'll start with the new trade recruit, Jug McVee. What's it been like training with Judd, and how is he? How's he settled in?
Yeah, no, he's settled in really well. It's going to be really exciting to see him out there on Optus Stadium running around, because I think he's going to bring a lot to our team. But he settled in really nicely. He had a really good block pre-Chrissy, and I'm excited to see what he does in the new year.
All right, and then now we'll move on to our new draftees. So pick number 25, Adam Swade. Last pick of the first round. He's a mid-forward with explosive pace. I understand the man already has a nickname at the club. So clearly he's settled in.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take long for the boys to get nicknames these days. It's one of the highlights of getting new faces around the group. But yeah, he's going by Slim Swady, so Slim for short. But no, he's been really good. One thing that's super noticeable is he's just so eager and so keen to learn, to improve, to train hard, and that's what we want from our young players. Because from our list last year, we haven't had a lot of turnover from our best 23, so we need those young boys coming in that are knocking the door down that want to play. So, and he's certainly doing that. So he's made a great first impression.
Incredible. And speaking of first impressions, let's hope Tobin Murray has also had a great first impression. He's a dynamic small forward from Geelong VFL who had a breakout 2025. How's he looking, Sean?
Yeah, he's looking great. He's worked extremely hard, missed a few drafts and had to go to Geelong VFL. So I had a lot of boys back in Geelong message me about him when he got picked up because he's very popular down there. So living with Jai Amos at the moment and working really hard. He's exciting. He's got some tricks, which is good to see. So he's been really exciting.
Great. And we added a couple of Category B rookies in Toby Wan and Ryder Luke, another two names that have come out of our Next Generation Academy. How are these boys looking? But more importantly, how amazing is it to have next generation athletes come through our program?
Yeah, it's massive. We've got a rich history with that program, and we've obviously got Brandon Walker, Josh Draper that are in the program at the minute. And these two young lads, look really impressive. They're ready to go really in terms of their development, and they've hit the ground running. Toby Wan's a beautiful left footer, and Ryder Luke's really explosive and provides great pressure. So they've started the pre-season really well, and I'm excited to see what they do next year.
Incredible. And then in the rookie draft, we picked up Leon Kickett, an excitement machine from Swan Districts, the cousin of Dale and Derek Kickett. How's he going?
Yeah, he's exciting, that's for sure. He's got some tricks and forward pressure is, pretty crazy. He gets after you pretty well. He's pretty good at smothering, hey, Youngie?
Yeah, he got me with a great smell the other day. We were out and he's, let's just say he put his body on the line. So, he's really impressive. I'm pretty sure he was chatting to Vossi and Vossi said to him, oh yeah, just make sure you get front and centre for me. And he said, don't worry mate, I'll sit on your head. So, so that is the confidence that we love to see. So, and that's the type of player that we've got.
Also to Vossi as well. I love that.
Yeah,
we need that.
Not shying away from big Vossi. So, watch this space.
Watch this space. And speaking of this space, let's do our early predictions for 2026. We're going to start with leading goal kicker.
JT's probably an easy one, so I'm not going to go with that one.
Do a dark horse.
Bolts.
I love that. I'll go with JT. I think he's a spearhead of our forward line, and he obviously is just continuing to get better. And but the great thing about our forward line is it could be JT, Vossi, and Jai splitting them. You know, there might be not much between them, which is a great problem to have.
So we're going for a draw with the three-headed dragon down there.
Maybe a four-way draw.
Okay, perfect.
They all kick 50 goals each. That'd be great.
Beauty. And now let's go an early prediction for the 2026 Doig medalist.
Ooh, can Seba go 4 in a row? He's pretty hard to beat.
Get him out. Hat trick done.
Yeah, he's done 3.
The big fella sitting next to me. He's
Yeah.
looking pretty impressive.
I was about to say the big fella sitting next to me.
This one, the Spider-Man meme. Let's go.
Draw? We'll take a draw.
Perfect. All right, well, that's all we have time for. To everyone watching, thank you so much for tuning in. It's going to be a massive 2026 ahead, and we can't wait to get stuck in.
Cannot wait. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.